Think Italian sparkling wine is just Prosecco? Think again. The original Italian fizz, Asti, is older than Prosecco and grows in Piedmont. And guess what? It's still the most popular wine there. If you thought Asti was just sweet, you'd be wrong. In fact, there's an Asti for every palate, even if you swear by bone-dry wines. And this wine is made with one of the oldest, most loved grapes in human history. So we're in southeast Piedmont, Italy, between the Langhe and Monferrato hills. The hills that make Asti are also a UNESCO World Heritage. So what makes this place so special? It could be that the vineyards sit on limestone soils, which amplifies the wine's aromatics. Or maybe it's because of the proximity to the Alps keeps things breezy, making the wines racy and fresh. But part of what makes Asti so special, in my opinion, is the vineyards here are so steep they can only be tended by hand, the old school way. So what goes into making Italy's first sparkling wine? Well, for one, the grapes. Meet Moscato Bianco. In French, they call it Muscat Blanc Petit Grand, and it's the star of Asti wine. This grape story in Piedmont goes back to at least the ancient Greeks around 500 BC, but the muscat family, it's much older. Humans have been growing and loving muscat for thousands of years. In fact, some of the most famous wines of all time were muscat-based, like Cleopatra's favorite, a sweet muscat from ancient Greece. And why? Well, muscat's superpower. It's intoxicating nose, orange blossom, mandarin orange, jasmine, ripe peach, fresh herbs. It's fantastic. But here's the catch. Those lovely aromas are super fragile. They disappear if you treat the grape like you would Chardonnay in a traditional sparkling wine. And so the winemaking method matters. And it was invented right here in Asti. Back in 1895, an Asti native named Federico Martinati had a scientific breakthrough: to ferment Moscato in a sealed, pressurized stainless steel tank at a low temperature. This method captures the bubbles, but it also preserves the wine's delicate aromas. The Martinati method was later adapted in France and called the Charmat method. They're the same, but Asti got here first. And for Moscato, it's perfect. Here in Piedmont, Moscato Bianco does wonders, and it tastes a little different depending on what part of Asti you're in. There's Cannelli for intense floral aromatics, Strevi for juicy mandarin notes, and Santo Stefano for richer peachy wines. And some bottles even carry single vineyard names, just like in Burgundy. Now, if you're shopping for these wines, look for names like Asti DOCG, Moscato d'Asti DOCG, or Cannelli DOCG on the front label and also on the official wrapper around the top of the neck. And for the quality and all the handiwork that goes into these wines, they're excellent value. So how do you find the Asti sweetness level and style that fits your palate? Well, there are 3 official styles: Asti Spumante Dolce, Asti Spumante Brut, and Moscato d'Asti. Let's taste them. Asti Spumante Dolce, the full sparkling festive classic with 5 to 7% alcohol and around 100 grams per liter of sweetness. By the way, that's a little over 10% less sweet than a Coca-Cola. It's like walking through an orange grove in bloom. Ripe peach, honeysuckle, candied citrus peel, amazing. On the palate, it's lush and definitely sweet, but the acidity is such that it doesn't feel heavy. This wine would be perfect for fruit tarts, panettone, or salty chips if you like that sweet, salty play. And then you have Asti Spumante Brut. A total surprise if you've only ever had sweet Asti. This full sparkling has up to 12% alcohol with less than 12 grams per liter of residual sugar. That's just like Brut champagne. On the nose, it smells of lemon zest, pear skin, apple blossom, a little less aromatic. The palate is zippy and dry with a persistent mousse and a finish that's almost salty. Pair it with oysters, fried calamari, or just a bowl of salty olives. Delicious. And finally, there's Moscato d'Asti. This is the barely sparkling, or as the Italians say, frizzante, with just 5 to 6% alcohol by volume. And it's definitely sweet, with about 100 to 150 grams per liter of sweetness. Oh, wow. Aromas leap out on this one. Think fresh grape, apricot, elderflower, pow. The bubbles on this are softer and creamier, and the sweetness is definitely there, but we have just 5% alcohol. Moscato d'Asti is the brunch wine. It also loves spicy Asian food, creamy cheeses, or even a slice of lemon cake. Gosh, actually that would be really great after tasting this. Asti is one of those wines that a lot of us think we know, but when you dig into it, there's really quite a lot more going on. Moscato Bianco is an ancient grape. The Martini method was created here. And lastly, UNESCO heritage, it's stunning. But if you're like me, you just like the idea of perfume in a glass that you can drink. But I'm curious, after learning more about Asti's wines, which style appeals to you the most? Dolce? Brut? Moscato d'Asti? Let me know in the comments, and until next time, happy tasting. Peace out.